When you think about businesses that are selling through the roof, like Aloe or Allbirds, sure, you think about a great product, a cool brand, and great marketing. But an often overlooked secret is actually the businesses behind the business, making selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, that business is Shopify. Nobody does online business better than Shopify. It's home of Shop Pay, the #1 checkout in the world. You can use it to boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going through to checkout. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/income, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/income to upgrade your selling today. That's shopify.com/income.
This episode is brought to you by Audi. The road is calling. Embrace the thrill of the drive with the all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. Featuring effortless power, serious acceleration, and advanced Audi tech. It's not just a new EV, it's a new way to experience driving. The all-new, fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron is here. The next chapter of Audi starts now.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. When your computer breaks, you don't wait for it to magically start working again. You fix the problem. So why wait to hire the people your company desperately needs? Use Indeed's sponsored jobs to hire top talent fast. And even better, you only pay for results. There's no need to wait. Speed up your hiring with a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Somewhere on Earth, the Global Tech Podcast. And today, Wednesday, the 26th of February, we're recording in Doha. We are still at Web Summit. It's the final day, Web Summit Qatar. And today I have guests around the table from, well, Nigeria,
and Nigeria,
as you can hear. So what happens at Web Summit, just so our listeners will understand, is that every day they change what startups are exhibiting. You get a little stall, you get a big poster that's up there. People can go around, read it, and they stop and they chat to you. And as I was walking around this morning, I bumped into some very friendly ladies who are all exhibiting here at Web Summit Doha. So Oindia Kazim, and she has a startup called Hadia.
Yeah.
And you're from Lagos. And then we have Dr. Maynuna Youssef Kadiri, known as Dr. May, and psychologist Zainab Kadiri. They are both from the Pinnacle Health Institute in Lagos. Welcome, everybody. So first of all, I'll start with you, India. Tell me about your startup.
Okay, so thank you so much for having me here, Anya. I'm really excited to talk about what we're doing at Hadia. So what Hadia started off for me basically was when I became a mom a couple of years ago, I realized that I couldn't find quality and interactive Islamic resources to raise my children to have a strong Islamic background. And I knew I wanted them to do that. So I started to research and I realized that, look, Nigeria is a country of over 200 million people, of which 50% are Muslim. So there's a demand for these products, but there was nobody focusing on supplying them to African Muslims outside of the Northern Africa, because I feel like Muslims in our region are often overlooked. I mean, even from my experience here at the summit, I've had people approach me and say, oh, wow, you have Muslims in Nigeria. And I'm like, there are over 100 million Nigerian Muslims. Of course we have Muslims in Nigeria. So this has given me an opportunity to sort of open up the Nigerian market, open up the African market for people to realize that there are people who want these products, and it's also pushed us to develop our own brand products that are culturally appropriate and culturally representative. And now we're pivoting from just e-commerce and retail to developing a marketplace where other suppliers across the world who are now interested in the market, now that they've seen that there's a huge market there, can list their products. And we have the trusted platform because the Hadia brand is known now for Islamic lifestyle products in Africa. And other people can list with us, and we can bring suppliers and consumers together as well. So that's essentially what we do at Hadia.
So tell me about some of the products. Are they toys? Are they? I don't know.
Yeah, so that's
I have no idea.
That's actually a great question, because most times when I tell people we sell Islamic lifestyle products, they just assume we sell like abayas or scarves. But we do. So when I say Islamic lifestyle products are things that you use in every day. So for example, you can have a pencil case, but that has in Islam, we're very much about prayer, and we focus a lot on Allah in everything we do. So for example, before we eat, we say Bismillah. So I have a plate set that we've designed that says start with Bismillah, which reminds a child to say the prayer before they eat. So that's a lifestyle product. You eat with plates every day, or cups. We have pencil cases that have Islamic captions or Islamic monograms or designs. Just regular everyday products that you would interact with, but with Islamic like verses from the Quran on your notebooks. We have a best-selling notebook actually that says, "And Allah is the best of planners," and it's a planner that we designed, and that's actually a verse from the Quran that says Allah is the best of planners. So it's like having any product that you'd use every day, but with a faith-inspired caption or design or monogram or logo or something that just reminds you that, okay, I'm a Muslim and I identify as a Muslim. And when you see me automatically, you'd know I'm a Muslim because I'm using that bottle that says Bismillah, or carrying a bag, or using a notepad. So those are lifestyle products. We have toys that teach Arabic, toys that speak Arabic, so they have sound, toys that wear the hijab, because most times you have, for example, dolls that young children typically play with, but they don't have dolls that look like their moms who wear a hijab. So we have dolls that have hijabs on. So different things like that. So it's really a range of products: wall frames, art, stationery, feeding products, books, learning resources, everything essentially.
You say e-commerce, so you have a website.
So we have a website, yes. And we started off with a physical store, and then we've seen a really huge uptake in our e-commerce website because unlike this region and like Europe, in Nigeria and most of the African countries, because there's a lot of, unfortunately, I hate that I have to say that, but because it's a low trust society, people don't really like to use their cards online. So it's actually taken us a couple of years to build that brand loyalty for people to understand that we are a legit business. Mm-hmm. We are not going to scam you. So we've gotten to the point now that our website has really grown, and people are now comfortable ordering directly from our websites because they've seen that the brand consistently, and we've consistently delivered. So we started off with our physical space, which we still have, and it complements it well because sometimes people just want to interact with products. But we've really now pushed into our e-commerce space, and this is now opening up markets for us because now on the website we even get orders from Dubai, sometimes from Morocco, Egypt, South Africa. So we're really pushing the e-commerce, and that's what's also driving our potential pivot to becoming a marketplace.
Well, and that's where I met you when you were talking to a toy seller. Yes. So they were actually stationed very close to you. Exactly. And they sell toys for this market.
Yes, for this market. So I had said earlier that we've also now integrated backwards to start to design some products that we're not seeing yet in the markets, but people are requesting for it. So products that are tailored towards more of the African market. So for example, maybe darker skin dolls, that's more representative and relatable. So now with those products, we are now designing some of the products ourselves. So we're going to have like Hadia brand products, and then we're then looking for other markets to sell them to, because you have Africans in the diaspora all over the world. There are Africans in Canada, in the UK, in America, everywhere. So we're then looking for local partners in strategic regions who can do that for us, because unfortunately, when it comes to fulfillment, we do not have the way the African market is set up now, infrastructure, it's not so easy to get. If you place an order on our website today from Qatar, it may take like maybe 2-3 weeks. But if we have goods with a fulfillment partner here, and then you can order from them directly, then it gives you quick access to the products. And that's the beauty of online shopping. Like, you can get things more quickly
And
now.
especially for busy mums who have
Exactly.
forgotten there's a party at the weekend,
Exactly,
then they
exactly.
desperately need an
And they just
appropriate present.
Yeah, exactly,
need it
exactly.
now.
You need it right now. And children, I mean, and with children's things, like, if you tell your child you're gonna get them something, they'll ask you for it every. Mommy, is it here? Yes, mommy. When are you bringing it? Mommy, is it here? So you can't tell them, oh, it will arrive in 3 weeks. No, that's not gonna work for kids. So
3 weeks is a very long
It's a
time
very
when
long
you
time.
when you are young.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
But you're happy. You think you've made good contacts here.
Definitely. I'm really happy. Like, this is my first web summit, and honestly, I didn't come with too many expectations. I just thought I'd meet people, network, potentially find like a potential co-founder, but it has been a lot more rewarding for me from a business perspective, from the brand awareness, and just speaking to so many potential like partners and investors as well. And the level of interest and the excitement I see in people's faces when I tell them what we're doing at Hadia has been amazing. And it's really encouraging because it tells me that we're onto something. And yeah, I can't wait to see where this takes us. And I would definitely, if I had to come to Web Summit again, I wouldn't even think twice. I'd definitely do it again.
Brilliant. Thank you for now, India Kazim.
Thank you.
Uh-oh, the last cookie.
You can get a new box of cookies in as fast as an hour with Walmart Express Delivery.
Are you my guilty self-conscience?
No, I'm the voice offering you promo code EXPRESS for free delivery on your first order.
Hey, who ate my cookies?
You mean, these cookies?
Order now. Welcome to your Walmart. Promotion valid for first express delivery order. $50 minimum subject to availability. Restrictions apply.
And now let us move on to two other ladies who I literally just met. We have one of our studio experts, Wairimu Gitahi, is based in Nairobi. And I didn't think anybody laughed and smiled as much as she does, but maybe I found someone who does, and you can hear her in the background. Dr. Maimouna Yusuf Kadiri. Dr. May?
Yes, Dr. May.
Dr. May, you're going to be known as Dr. May, and Zainab Kadiri. Now, you're from Pinnacle Health Institute in Lagos. Tell me a little bit, first of all, about the Health Institute and what you do there.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. And, sometimes you just move around. We're about to exit the platform, get to the mall and come back and, say hello to Oyinda. And then we met you. And so that's just, for me, is fate. And, and you embrace everything that comes with it.
Definitely.
So Pinnacle Mental Health Institute is geared towards creating mental health awareness in Nigeria and specifically normalizing mental health conversations. So it's for trainings and for different organizations, whether individual or for enterprises. And with that, we came into Web Summit with our product. It's a startup we felt it was very necessary. We did last year, which is called the How Body. So How Body is a Nigerian way of asking you, how are you? How are you is overlooked, undervalued, not most times appreciated. People, we ask you, how are you? And we quickly assume that everything is fine. So How Body is geared towards delivering culturally appropriate therapy for anyone, anywhere, at any time. Easy, breezy, reducing waiting time, reducing the diagnosis up to 80%, and getting people that you can relate with and people that you can communicate with and feel that you understand this person. So for the MENA region where we are right now, we onboard therapies from the MENA region for the people in the MENA region. In Nigeria, same thing. And it was because of 3-4 main reasons. Studies, according to World Health Organization, says 1 out of 4 individuals will have a mental health issue in their lifetime. It just means that you may not have done anything wrong. It may not even be genetically. It may just be for the fact that you are going through life challenges, maybe loss of a loved one, could be grief. It doesn't have to be something so deep, And then the second thing is that right now we have one psychiatrist to 1 million Nigerians.
I was going to ask you both exactly this. What is the health service provision in Nigeria when it comes to mental health?
Right now, at the moment, they spend less than 4% of the national budget on healthcare. So you can just
in total. That's in total.
Yeah.
We're not talking just about mental health, but about all health.
Total.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Wow. It's very crazy. And you see, there's a lot of healthcare facilities that are being built and being created. But if you're coming into the country for the first time, you would only notice that it's actually mostly in the urban areas. We don't have those things provided in the rural areas, in the undeserved communities, in the vulnerable sides of the country, in Africa, in schools where they actually need it the most. So that's how the general oversight of that's how it looks like right now. So for us, we're trying to, like she mentioned, to reduce that diagnosis. And there's also a lot of stigma because, talking about it and bringing that into light is different than creating awareness. And that's why we've had our institutes for about 14 years now to be able to create awareness and drive things. We hold a lot of webinars, campaigns, and we hold meetings with even town city halls to talk to them about the people in those communities and things they're going through daily. Because they think mental health is something that has to be such a huge thing, I'm depressed, I'm anxious. It can be that, but it could also be you're finding that you're having problems in your sleeping patterns. It can even be due to spiritual abuse. It can be generational trauma. It can be a lot of things that are being overlooked as well. Yeah. So,
and because of the fact that in recent times with COVID, we're just coming out of COVID.
Yeah.
We have a huge exodus of our health workers going to the Western world. So sad, but you cannot stop people in their pursuit for happiness or in their pursuit for greatness.
Yeah.
So go wherever you want to go, but come on board the How Body platform and deliver culturally appropriate therapy. So that is the way we are trying to bring about mental health equity that's accessible, affordable, and available at any point in time. You are able to log in, get in to talk to somebody, and you do not have to go and wait in the emergency unit 3-4 hours just trying to meet up somebody, a therapist that may not even be existing in that facility.
And what about cost? Cost compared, how much does it cost to see a doctor in person, and how much, or a psychologist, a psychiatrist, and what about the cost of your platform in comparison?
So what we have right now in Nigeria with over 200 million Nigerians, we have over 70% Nigerians doing out-of-pocket payment.
Yeah.
So that means you pay.
It's seen as a luxury.
Yes, you pay a lot. So out-of-pocket payment is still huge. For normal, regular therapy, you're going to about, let's put it in dollar terms, about $50 to $60, right? But what How Body is trying to achieve is less than $10. So cheaper, but retaining the quality and culturally appropriate. And so that people can be able to assess it. We've even gone as far as, we know sometimes people don't even want to talk to someone directly, so there are free assessments there. First check whether you are even sleeping well. First check whether you won't have anxiety. And you get the result instantly to your email, what it is. And if you don't want to talk to a therapist, you go on. But if you don't want to, we've created a venting room.
Yeah.
Just go in there and vent. Yes.
A venting room.
Yes, you vent. Yeah.
This sounds. It's like a chat room.
Yeah. It's
But
the
you
first
vent.
level of, unleashing your emotions and things that you feel like you probably will be pressured to talk about if you were put in front of a therapist right now. Not a lot of people are ready for that conversation. So that venting room gives a safe space. And at the end of that, the therapist on the other side is able to summarize all of that information and then move you on to a triad session where you can get the assessments or maybe be moved to AI systematic tracking with your moods and then talk to a client care coordinator. So we have a lot of steps in place before you're able to even pay. Because people come in, they're like, things are really expensive. I probably have to pay out of pocket right now or I have to sit for hours. And How Body saves a lot of that in the beginning, the first few steps before connecting to a therapist, if there's a need to. So
you go in, you vent. I love this. I love this. I'm joining How Body. My husband will be so happy. So you go and you vent, and then it's assessed, you say, and then AI. Explain that bit of tech. How does that then get involved?
So you get in, you vent. The therapist is listening, not saying anything. He's just holding space for you, and then summarize all what you say and what you did, and then give recommendation. If, for example, you came in with suicidal, it will definitely recommend that you see a therapist now and even refer you. But if it's just, I just want to unbottom my emotions, I feel so pressured, and it's okay, do this. There's meditation. There's the ASMR part where we have the meditative parts and all the musical rainforest, thunderstorm, and just something to just calm you down. So you just tell you what to do. So the thing with the AI chat is you go in there and it's chatting with you. Right now we have only 2 languages, English, which is our lingua franca, and Pidgin English. But we are trying to look at, start with our 3 basic Wazobia, Igbo, Hausa, and Yoruba, then convert to the Arabic, Portuguese, Spanish, and gets into other languages. So you can just chat, and then it's giving you, I feel sad right now. Oh, thank you for reaching out with us. What's making you sad? So coincidentally, the name of our mental health body is Zainab. So you're chatting with Zainab. That's the name. So you're chatting with Zainab. So Zainab is giving you the answers. Zainab is directing you. Zainab is telling you to do deep breathing. Take a deep breath right now. So those are some of the things
we've run so many tests on the AI tracking system because we've looked at statistically what a lot of people ask about and what the results or answers to this thing should look like. And that's why we're also kind of careful in building the foundation for HowBuddy to make sure that we're both certified in seeing what that result looks like. Her being a psychotherapist and me being a psychologist, it's very important because a lot of reasons why people don't include those assessments or the results of that into the AI system is because they don't know what the end results are meant to look like. They don't know what the outcome is meant to be taken from those situations and conversations as well. So it's very, very easy to use and it's very user-friendly, all in general terms. And even that Pidgin English, it's very easy to break down because people want to be able to reach out, but they don't even understand mentally what exactly is wrong with them. So asking those questions, am I sleeping right? Am I paranoid? Am I overthinking? What can this lead to? What are the symptoms? It saves you from having to go to Google and open different articles and read through all of that, So it's...
Dr. Google is never a good idea.
It's Google doctors.
Exactly. Actually, one thing it says, oh, this is a symptom, it can be fatal. And you're like, oh my God, I'm going to die.
Exactly. Let's
in there.
Exactly. You self-diagnose. Not a good idea. Go to somewhere that's backed up by the professionals. So you're talking to the AI chatbot, and does there come a point where the AI chatbot says, "Actually, you know what? I'm now going to transfer you to a therapist"?
Definitely. Yeah, and we've even done we've done a pilot. We've seen that the underserved, hard to reach communities may not enjoy all these benefits. So what are we talking about? And she had just made mention of, there are a lot of hospitals, care in the urban areas. So what happened to the people in the rural areas? So what we have done with this HowBuddy is take it from the telemedicine platform and build mobile counseling booths that are solar panel enabled.
And they're fully collapsible.
Okay, right. Start again, right? More tech. We love this. Right. So rural areas.
Yeah.
Obviously, internet access and
power.
Let's talk about even the basics before we get
exactly
power in rural areas. I mean, I've been to some rural parts of Nigeria, and you just sit in the dark because there is just no power.
And those are the basic necessities and infrastructure. Imagine having to lack that. So the booths are fully self-powered. They're solar powered on their own. They come with an internet as well, and they have tablets that are in it, and they're fully soundproof. So we're trying to make them like those IKEA kits where you can fully collapse and send it to the company, and they can look for certain parts of the area or parks where they can place it for people to feel like they can walk into a place without feeling judged, or telling someone, I'm going for a therapy appointment. They're like, you're going to see a mad doctor? Like,
mad
no.
doctor. Yeah.
So when you're stepping into a booth, they might just think it's a cell phone area and you just want to, so it's a lot easier to be able to get out of that space.
Yeah, you haven't got big labels on the outside.
Yeah, no.
It's all very
very sassy, very soft
Yeah.
and cute. And if somebody asks me in Web Summit, what would you want an investor to do? For me, that is the way I would want investors to come in. First, get a link to the IKEA group of people to help us do malleable, collapsible booths that we send to you. You can set it up yourself without looking for artisans to nail it and put it up for you.
Yeah.
And then, of course, solar paneled, and with your tech, you are able to. So for us in Nigeria, what we started is work with the biggest tech company right now, telco right now, and we have scheduled an appointment to reach them, which is MTN, to see, because they have a foundation, to see how they can come in that partnership with their telco and, of course, through their CSR, and help us, move this mobile counseling booths to different areas, public schools, parks, places that are just leisure, that people can just walk in, while we focus on building and onboarding therapists on board, so that for any time, 24/7, there's someone you can speak with. They help us with the branding, the marketing, and, creating more awareness. And so that is a partnership.
That's what you're looking for. That.
Yeah.
You're looking for that. So if there's someone listening to this podcast, please. How bodies who
how body, how are you?
How are you? You need to get in touch with them. And how popular is it? How many people actually come and use it? Because obviously it's what you're saying. It all seems to make perfect sense. Culturally appropriate for the region, the right language, discreet, etc. Quite a lot of free initial assessment that can either put your mind at rest or point out that you need more. You need more help. But how many people have actually used it?
Good question. We've been running a brick and mortar hospital, Pinnacle Medical Services, for the past 14 years. This is our 15th year in existence. And we have 28 and counting corporate organizations through our EAP services. So the EAP, Employees Assistance Program Services. And we are managing over 3 million Nigerians and their families on board on that. And so when Howbody came in as part of our diversification and, going to the tech world, it's now working with those corporate organizations. And then, you know what? This is a good and better way for your employees and their family members to access therapy. If you are not located in Lagos physically, you can just come on board the Howbody and, embrace it. Of course, the fintechs were the very first organization because they love that. It's a tech thing and all that. So we gradually onboarding the corporate organization. So, for example, we have banks, we have oil and gas companies, FMCGs. So one bank, we have 7,000 staff. So one of the EAP service is buy one, get one free. So if you're an employee of that company, you have automatically one member of your family
joins you as well.
So it's 14,000 automatically. Yeah.
So it's an employment benefit.
Exactly. So they're coming on board and they're the ones using it. So we have quite a number of downloads. So in a typical week, we have not less than 200 to 300 people using the Howbody platforms. And also for users directly. But for people that just want to check assessment, we have sometimes 1,000, especially when we go for public speaking and then we are telling people about it. They're like, let's just download, let's just check the free assessment out. Yeah.
And talking download, so is that on your phone?
We actually have an app. It's launched on the Google
Play Store, Apple Store.
And the Apple Store as well.
And the web base, www.howbody.com.
So you're making it for Nigeria at the moment, and you're in the Middle East now, but this could be adapted to other African countries and even
Exactly.
Countries,
So for us in the MENA region now, at least we've signed up, registered as a startup. We are hoping that we're able to go through the stages to come in and do a B2B. So other things we're also looking into is now to ensure that we're able to get the therapists here to come on board to also deliver culturally appropriate. So the MENA region doesn't have to be Qatar alone. The UAE, that's Dubai, the Bahrain, and all the other countries that in this region. So luckily we are a part of a bigger organization like the Association of Psychiatrists of America, Association of Psychiatrists, Psychologists of America, Employee Assistance Program Association worldwide. So those gives us room, and then of course ICF, the coaching platform, room to identify therapists in this other location and speak to them and let them know that you are not going to get the exact money you get when people walk into your session, but this is for the impact too. Yeah. So to deliver sessions at a lower price, but for the impact.
Yeah.
And so we are looking for people that are coming with their heart, not necessarily saying, oh, I want to come in for the money.
Yeah. Another thing too is we were talking about how, especially after COVID, a lot of people saw, like, the problems in Nigeria and Africa, some of them are still high rising. And we don't want to see mental health, normalizing these conversations as an afterthought. This should be something that should be a necessity. So a lot of doctors and people think like globally they have to step out of the country to find out like better ways to improve themselves or to, look for mental health facilities where they can join. And so this is kind of bridging that gap. And so we've had a lot of like connections back from people that have gone to the States, Canada, Europe, to try to connect back to their people again. This is a way to kind of connect back to the community. And, we're trying to diversify the directory of psychotherapists and people we have on board. And that's why we started with English and Pidgin. And then we're going to move on to Arabic, Swahili, and all of that. So it's easier.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining us. That's Dr. May Yusuf Kadiri and psychologist Zainab Kadiri. Earlier, you heard from Odindia Kazim from Hadia, Islamic lifestyle products, all at Web Summit Doha. And just a reminder that our production manager is Liz Toohey and that Somewhere on Earth is a proud partner of Evergreen Podcasts. Thank you for listening and goodbye.
Hi, everyone. It's Michael Calore, Director of Consumer Tech and Culture at Wired, here with my colleagues, senior writer Lauren Good.
Hello.
And Wired contributor Zoe Schiffer.
Hey, everyone.
We're here to tell you about our new podcast, Uncanny Valley, a show about the people, power, and influence of Silicon Valley.
Every week, we get together to talk about how technology and culture from the Valley is influencing our everyday lives.
We dig into questions like, will we ever get our privacy back? Is OpenAI for real? And how are Silicon Valley billionaires impacting U.S. elections?
The first episode of Uncanny Valley comes out on October 31st. Listen wherever you get your podcasts.